Happy Christmas Eve to everybody who likes to watch my videos, which are reacts to reacts, right? So there's a few different react channels I like to watch and add my own flavor and commentary on top of what they're already adding. One of them is Jordy. Um, there's he kind of got me into the eating disorder channels, right? So the Cooney content, the Amberlyn Reed, and the Foodie Beauty Chantel stuff. And so I've had a lot of commentary in these areas specifically. I'm skipping ahead in his video because he's covering something that I already covered in the earlier parts of this video, which is that she dressed up in her Santa lingerie and went out on the town to try and, I don't know, produce some sort of fetish content. It's pretty clear that she is trying to like sex it up. She thinks that she looks sexy like this, right? This is her perception of herself, is that she looks sexy like in this particular condition right now, which is very starved, you know, bones sticking out, arms twitching, legs twitching, sometimes her head jerks. And a lot of people are very confused why she's allowed to produce content, or not even, I mean, I suppose she could produce the content, but it should be age restricted, because this type of an influencer can affect the body image of women specifically, but it could probably affect men as well. That this is what she's trying to present as sexy, and it can, as you'll see through this live stream that Jordy is going to analyze, she has a lot of manipulative language to try and almost brainwash her audience. So let's go through it.
Erica, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I did not flash you guys. You guys making those kind of comments. Oh, now you guys want to go down that route. Ruthie, thank you with the snowman. Guys, I literally have shorts on right now.
I don't know if she actually at some point did have like a wardrobe malfunction, if you will. I've received some comments on my own channel that indicate that she did, but I can't verify that one way or the other. But she does tend to wear Spanx and fishnets, and so it would be pretty easy for something to slide over to the side and be in the wrong place, is all I'm saying.
Like, I have shorts on, like underneath my shirt, so whatever some of you guys might think you saw, you did not see. Because that's kind of impossible where, like, I'm literally wearing shorts. I'm just saying. So, yeah, sorry you guys that maybe wanted to see something, but I don't think you did.
Right.
Beautiful.
Oh, did you notice that there? That's actually the first time that I've ever heard her say something along the lines of that. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe the reason why you guys are accusing me of doing that is because you wanted to see something, but you didn't see something. You know what I mean? Kind of turning it around and putting it back at the people that said it to begin with. Girl, no, that's not it.
Oh, I love your spirit. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I pray over your well-being and health restoration. Oh, thank you. No need to worry because, you know, like, really, I really am doing fine. Like, everything's good, guys. But I appreciate you praying for me and, like, being kind. And I send, like, all love to you, too. So, like, thank you so much. Let's see if we can maybe get to 300K. We're at, like, 261.
Her right arm is really twitching out right now again.
Keep it still trying to recover? No, guys, I'm really not, because I really feel like I'm doing fine. You know? So yeah, there's really nothing I gotta recover from, everybody. I think I need to recover from some people's, like, comments, honestly. Just kidding, but yeah, no, everything's good.
I think you need to actually start listening to feedback. You know, when they start asking you questions about why you still live at home, you're 29 years old, how come you still haven't had a job, and you deflect to a story about how your grandmother passed away last summer, that I've lost all four of my grandparents. And at no point during the loss of my grandparents did I lose the responsibility of taking care of my son, of holding a job down, of paying my bills, you know, of actually being an adult. And so when you say those types of things, when you deflect like that, what you're basically saying is that you're living in Deb's house for some unknown reason, and you're implying, based on this upcoming story, that there is a caregiver situation going on. So which one of you is taking care of the other? Because if you can spend 12 hours online without going to the bathroom and just panhandling for donations, how are you taking care of Deb? What are you doing for your mom during those 12 hours? How are you? What is your responsibility to that household? That's what adults do, Eugenia.
Oh, I thought that this was in the Friday afternoon live stream. It was in this one. Oh. One more time. One more time.
Am I still trying to recover? No, guys, I'm really not, because I really feel like I'm doing fine. You know? So yeah, there's really nothing I gotta recover from, everybody. I think I need to recover from some people's, like, comments, honestly. Just kidding, but yeah, no, everything's good.
Did you catch the just kidding as soon as she said that too? Just kidding. No. Took the mask off for a second, got in the face of haters, told them exactly what she wanted to say to them, and then put the mask back up and said, just kidding. It's brazen. It's becoming really brazen. People are on your TikTok stream expressing sympathy, saying how they feel. And you turn around and say, well, I don't know about all that, but I think what I really need to recover from are all these nasty comments that are being said in the chat. So it's kind of really warped in a way, because people express sympathy. She takes that, makes fun of it, makes a joke out of it, makes light of it, and then somehow, some way, she becomes the victim.
Uh-huh.
Well, I actually need to recover from these nasty comments and all these horrible things people are saying about me in the chat. So it's really intricate, right? Because she is simultaneously making fun of someone's sympathetic comment and playing the victim at the same time. Huh.
And she's also choosing to read those comments. She doesn't have to. She could have a moderator in there that is, weeding some of this stuff out. The well wishes, I don't see why she has a problem with that. She already knows she has an eating disorder. She did a documentary about it. So it's not like she's unaware of her condition. She knows that she is potentially a role model to other people who are struggling with that eating disorder, because she went through a temporary recovery. And now she's seriously relapsed. Everybody can visibly see it. And she's acting like a drug addict or an alcoholic who is getting an intervention from their friends and family about their, problem, right? So her audience is telling her, look, you're not healthy. You're too skinny, obviously. You're twitching out, so there's something wrong with the nutrient level in your body. Um, she said on one of her live streams, I just move this way. No, you don't. Even people with like ADHD don't fidget like that. And I know this because I've had a lot of ADHD people around me. They might tap their foot or something, or, have something going on under the table. But they generally keep their upper body pretty solid, or they'll get like a toy, they have those fidget toys, right? But you're just all over the place with muscle spasms. It's visible that she has apparent, health issues, and she just gaslights her audience every day.
What gaslighting? What are you talking about? Girl. Girl.
Aw, guys, I love these snowmans. Thank you, everybody, with the snowmans tonight. I love them.
The snowmans. I saw one of you comment on the video from like 4 days ago or whatever. It said, every time I hear Eugenia say snowmans, I get irrationally angry, but at the same time, I don't know if it's snowmans or snowmen because my brain kind of melts from watching this.
It's probably snow people.
Oh boy, snowmans.
Don't let the haters get to you. Thank you. I really don't for the most part, guys. Like, honestly, I'm just kind of living my life. I think, like, sometimes a lot of people, like, kind of act like they know everything about me, but in my life and how I feel and, like, whatever.
Literally sits on stream for upwards of 12 hours some days. You guys think you know things about my life. That's what always cracks me up about some of these public figures. They'll come on here, broadcast their whole life, share details about themselves over a span of 10 plus years, and then they'll come on here, scowl, and say, you don't know me. Girl, sometimes people sit and watch you for 12 hours. What do you mean they don't know you?
But they really don't. So, yeah, I'm just kind of living my life like the best I can. Trying to be the best person I can and everything. And yeah, I think that's like all you can do sometimes, really. How is your hair?
She's grabbing her knee right now to try and keep her arms steady because they're all over the place, right? And so she's trying to anchor herself so that they're not as obviously spazzing out as what they're doing. But it's pretty obvious they're spazzing out right now.
Long and beautiful. You're so sweet. Thank you. I mean, I got it done earlier today, guys. So I do kind of feel like it looks a lot better after getting it done. And as for like how long, I honestly just kind of don't cut it much. I finally got a haircut when I was in LA. A little bit, because I feel like it was getting kind of like the ends of it were getting kind of like stringy looking. It just wasn't looking that great. And it was kind of like, I think it's time. And I honestly think it looks a lot better after like cutting it a little bit, but I just don't cut it much. And even when I do get cuts, I don't like to cut it like a lot. Like I do more trims, because I just like it really long. So. So.
Now, I remember, I didn't know that it was when she was in LA for Jeffrey's thing, but I remember prior to the haircut, a lot of people in their chat were going really hard with the whole your hair looks gray thing. And she was apologizing for that and saying, okay, like kind of acknowledging what they were saying in a way and saying, well, I'm getting my hair done soon. So I don't know if it was like a trim and a dye or what, but
yeah. Guys, we're getting so close to 300,000 likes. Everyone, if you guys could keep double tapping the screen, that would be amazing, guys. Thank you, everyone, double tapping. My music taste?
I would say if, I don't know if she is coloring her hair or not, but I would think that we would see roots and a clear line of demarcation from the color treatment, because it sounds like she doesn't go in very often. It sounds like she almost never leaves the house, right? Unless she wants to do something overly productive, like dance around in lingerie in a Home Depot. But basically, I think her hair was probably getting really dried out and just needed like a conditioning treatment and a trim to get all the dry ends off of it. But in regards to whether or not her hair is falling out, it still looks, I mean, sometimes it looks stringy, but that might actually have more to do with whether or not she's actually regularly bathing, right? And is she using dry shampoo? Because that would also make her hair look foggy if she's using dry shampoo.
It depends what I want to listen to, guys. Like right now, we just kind of have some Paramore playing in the background. I love this kind of music, like this kind of like emo, like Warped Tour, you know? I feel like that kind of music.
every time she does that, the air quotes when people say like emo or describe her as MySpace, what are you trying to do there with that? I mean, Eugenia, you are like kind of like gothic-y, emo, MySpace-y 2008. What's with the air quotes?
My music taste? I mean, it depends what I want to listen to, guys. Like right now, we just kind of have some Paramore playing in the background. I love this kind of music, like this kind of like emo, like Warped Tour, you know? I feel like that kind of music, it will always be the best. Like, there's nothing else like it. It's so good. And I also like, you know, stuff that's kind of more pop. I like stuff that's kind of more electronic. Like, it kind of just depends, like, what I feel like listening to, really. What shoes am I wearing? I actually have such...
Stereo Love, Bring Me to Life, Alejandro, Bad Romance, Still Into You, Misery Business. If you gave me a pen and a paper in 30 minutes, I could probably have Eugenia's entire playlist written down.
Yeah, she seriously only has like 20 songs on her playlist. And for those of us who actually were goth, you know, listening to like Bauhaus or, you know, The Cure or Susie and the Banshees or Mission UK or, you know, that basically goth is not really around anymore. And this emo term came up, I think, somewhere in like the late 90s, early aughts. And it's what we would have called it just alternative music. Like it's just alternative rock music. It's not, I would not place that anywhere near actual emo or goth. Because that's not what it is. And if that's the look and feel she's trying to go for, she's missing the mark severely. Because, yeah, she's got way too much pop playing in the background at all times. And like I said on my other live stream, I don't have a problem with people liking pop. I like pop. But at the time that I was doing the whole goth scene, I didn't listen to any pop at all. because I was deep into the music scene. I was deep into the clubbing in Hollywood where these bands were playing, and that's simply not what it was. So it's like she's trying to emulate something that formerly existed that no longer really is out there anymore because the Gen Xers have all grown up at this point. We're becoming grandparents at this point. But what she's talking about is trying to like fake an image, fake what was a subculture. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but like I'm not a big fan of Paramore.
Oh, Avril Lavigne. Oh, we can't forget about Avril Lavigne. Oh my God,
Right.
complicated. Oh boy.
What shoes am I wearing? I actually have such cool shoes on today, guys. And oh my gosh, everybody, we just reached 300,000 likes. So everybody double tapping the screen. Thank you guys so much. Do you guys want to see my shoes tonight? They're actually really cool. They kind of like go with my outfit. I love them. Guys, I'm not trying to... How am I embarrassing myself? I'm just kind of talking right now. I understand sometimes maybe I'm like embarrassing or whatever. But right now, I'm like, what am I even doing that's like embarrassing? Alright, I'll show you guys my shoes. Get ready. They're really cool. Look, they're Powerpuff shoes. Guys, aren't these so cute? Look at that.
Honestly, where do you buy something like this?
Online.
Platform strap-ons with the Powerpuff Girls city as the base of the shoe, and the straps are the residue that the Powerpuff Girls leave behind when they fly away all superhero-like. Where do you buy something like this?
You have to order.
I mean, honestly, if you had to make me come up with a guess for that, I would say Hot Topic. But this just seems so unique, so out there, so specific. It's almost as if these were custom made for her. And you know what? As I'm looking at these, you know what these would go good with? Sorry, go well with? These, you see how it's like has a little bit of blue and a cloud in here and everything? This would match her blue and white cloud hoodie from Jeffrey. You know, we've seen it before. The light blue and white blotchy kind of hoodie that she wears. That would match.
Literally, like, this might be like my favorite pair of shoes ever. Like, I'm obsessed.
That's how you break an ankle. Seriously. Especially at what's going on with her at this point. Like, that's something that you could probably get away with wearing when you're like a teenager, early 20s. But she's now 29, and her body is already deteriorating. And so it's gonna, she's definitely not providing enough nutrients to even provide enough to keep bone density together at this point. So she's definitely says that she only goes to the doctor if she needs to. And it sounds like pretty much she only went in for like a vaccination, and so she only would have seen a nurse. So it sounds like she's not getting regular like physicals and blood work and, you know, everything that she would need to know the condition and state of her body. And basically, her bones are probably pretty flimsy at this point. And so I think this is probably one of the reasons why she does not get up and walk around in those shoes in front of anybody. Because I don't know that she's practiced in them yet to figure out if she can actually walk in them. And That's a recipe for disaster right there.
See, it's got all the Powerpuff Girls, Townsville, the sparkles. Aren't they cute? Yeah, I love those shoes. I think they're so cool. Those are so cool. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, guys, honestly, I am like obsessed with those. I just think like they're so cool. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like them.
Well, because everyone is different, we do.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys like them. Can I walk around in them? Yeah, I'm really good in heels and platforms, guys. Yes. I actually think platforms are like so easy to walk in.
You think so?
What lipstick shade am I using? So guys, today the lipstick shade that I'm using, it is.
I'm sorry, this really doesn't have anything to do with Eugenia Cooney, but there's a TV show I watch. It's very similar to RuPaul's Drag Race, except it's like more special effects. It's more like horror themed. And they're on that show, the judges hate platform boots, or what they call they're called club kid boots. I guess they were really popular in the 80s. But it's just every time I see Eugenia's wearing these, I think of them because they despise those things with a passion. I mean, people have been disqualified for wearing those. Someone wore those on the first season, or sorry, the first episode of last season, and they got kicked out. I don't really have an opinion on them. People have said actually that they're a lot easier to walk in than you might think.
No.
So I guess there's that. I mean, when I look at those, they look like they're difficult to walk in, but apparently that's not the case.
It's the Jeffree Star cavity shade. It's one of my like favorite pinks. I love this one. Hi Generous, what's up? How are you? Act your age? What does my age act like, guys? I mean, guys, what am I even doing that's like immature? I'm just talking about makeup and like doing whatever. Like, some of you guys are probably more immature than I am, okay? Oh my god!
I don't know. I mean, do any 29-year-olds care to weigh in? I mean, I'm only 27, so I suppose I don't have any say in this, but what should or what does a typical 20...
Well, my 29-year-old son is enlisted, you know. He's supporting a family. He has 2 daughters at this point, and is, you know, has a household that he is supporting. That's what he's doing at 29. So I don't know why she thinks that sitting around like a teenager all day is somehow acting her age.
9-year-old's lifestyle look like? I don't know a lot of, or have known of a lot of 29-year-olds that I feel like anything I say is going to come out as mean, but I do not know many people of or around Eugenia's age that has many similar characteristics to the type of lifestyle that she lives. That was a very...
Yeah. I mean, even the childless couples I know, when they were 29, they would have maybe activities like this on the weekend, but it was not their entire lifestyle all week long, because they had to hold down jobs and they had to pay bills, and, you know, they were either trying to, you know, build their nest egg so that they could get like a condo or a house or something, or they were, you know, doing something else to further their ability to retire later, but they were, you know, working and doing things that adults do. And, you know, apparently Eugenia is really bad at adulting, And she just wants to gaslight the audience at this point because she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean I'm not acting my age? Well, I don't know a lot of 29-year-olds who are sitting around in their bedroom in fishnets and Spanx and Powerpuff Girl clothing with the thermostat turned up to 77 so that they can beg for money on the internet. I don't know a lot of 29-year-olds doing that.
Diplomatic way to say it, wasn't it? That was, yeah. I would do well in a pageant competition. I wouldn't be one of those people up on stage saying, I wish for world peace. I'd have a whole monologue.
Post neurotic with the champion. Post neurotic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Post neurotic. Any age can act how they want. Exactly, Ashley. Like, I hate when people say that. I'm just kind of like, what does it matter how old people are? I just kind of think like everybody, like, why be mean to somebody just like over their personality or whatever, And if you guys are like so
you should be allowed to act whatever way you would like to at any age. No. See, that's kind of the thing about life in general. People do not typically freeze themselves in one frame of mind in life and sort of decide to enter what you have described in the past as a fantasy world. Most people, well, first of all, they don't have that luxury to do that because life inevitably passes them by and they have to learn and they have to adapt and they have to become more fully realized, mature people that have to take care of bills and progress. So there's that. But in terms of accumulating more experience from life and just getting older, your brain develops more. Well, gosh, we're hitting a slippery subject here.
I know, Jordy. Like, could you imagine? I'm 49 years old. If by her assessment, I could be sitting around in my condo in Spanx and fishnets with, a Powerpuff Girls shirt on and just live streaming for hours on end and being like, can't you just accept me? I know I'm 49 going on 50, but that's cool, right? If I'm, wearing all this childhood shit from my teenage years and I do nothing but beg for money on the internet. Oh, and I'm still living with my mom, right? And it's not in a caregiver arrangement. Fortunately, I'm not so old that my mom needs that kind of support yet.
And this is a really good example. This is a really good example of something I was just about to talk about. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to refrain, and I'm going to let the premise of the condition speak for the topic of what I was just about to get into.
so childish or whatever. Well, okay, maybe I'm just kind of like a young-hearted person. I don't know, but this is just kind of how I am. It's probably just kind of how I'm always going to be, really. 30 years old and can't drive. I'm not even 30 yet, guys, but even when I am, I'm honestly still probably going to be pretty similar to how I am now. And if some people don't like that, like, I'm sorry, but...
Notice that as this conversation intensifies, her arms are twitching out even more. So it appears that when she gets stressed, it makes it even worse.
This is just kind of me, I guess. I can drive. Like, yeah, I don't always drive that often, but... No, I got a license a while ago, so I can drive. Jasmine, thank you so much for all the roses.
I was about to say she did get the license. I didn't think that she got a license. Actually, the last video that I saw of her and Deb, she and Deb driving around, she failed it. She failed it. She said that it wasn't, I forget what happened, but yeah,
I think your grammar was correct the first time around, her and Deb, because when you're listening for how the sentence should go, it would be if you removed and Deb, her driving around versus she driving around. That's how you evaluate which pronoun to use at the beginning.
She basically told a story, something along the lines of, well, the driving instructor was really nice, but she ended up failing the test. So I guess she went back afterwards and passed it again. I guess there's really no way of verifying it. I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm just saying there's no way to verify it.
This is Revlon Super Lustrous.
Saying there's no way to verify it.
You're a 29-year-old who still lives with mommy, doesn't drive, and has never had a job. Some of that's true. Yeah, I do live with my mom. I'm sorry to people that think that's weird, but you know, we do have a good relationship and stuff, so I guess right now I just kind of am living with her. I mean, sorry to people that think that's weird. Again, I can drive. People saying I can't drive, I can drive. And, yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not perfect, everybody, but I mean, kind of is what it is with me, I guess. Ignore haters, thanks, Kaylee. Yeah, I try to not pay too much attention. Like, sometimes I feel like people are really, really quick to, like, judge me. And it's like, I'm not trying to say, like, everything with me is, like, normal or that I am perfect or...
And that's the thing about me. I don't need to be tooting my own horn here, blowing smoke up my own ass, but I'm someone that is not quick to judge people. My opinion on Eugenia Cooney, I don't exactly remember the first video I put out on her. I want to say it was either in February or March of this past year, but my opinion of her has changed drastically. It's sort of gone up on a roller coaster of how I have viewed her, and it's taken me a bit of time to really understand who she is, what she's about, what she's interested in doing, and the way that she operates and functions. And I think for a lot of people in the stream as well, and a lot of people that watch these videos and comment and take part in community corner and everything, we are still learning. Even today, we are still learning.
Anything like that whatsoever, you know?
But in terms of people that go in her chat and say superficial things like you still live with your mom at 30 and you don't drive, yeah, those would be kind of quick assumptions. But that's not what we're about here. That's not what we're about here. We are here to peel back the onion of what is Eugenia Cooney, go down layer after layer, have a deeper conversation, talk about things that otherwise in the past surrounding her channel has just been chalked up to people expressing comments with a lot of frustration and a lot of emotion. We're here to get to the other side of that frustration and emotion and to learn more. Because once you can identify what's going on, and once you talk about it, once you form opinions about it, your back's covered. You know what you're talking about.
But it's just kind of like, okay, what do you want me to say? Post neurotic, thank you so much for the confetti. Oh my gosh, Kay Kelly, thank you so much for the snowman. Thank you. Good Lord. My mom lives with her mom, and I live with them too, taking care of each other. Exactly, Kay Kelly girl. I mean, my mom herself, guys, we were living with her mom for a long time. Rashad, thank you with the heart me.
Yes, because she was critically ill. Well, I keep catching myself. I do. I keep catching myself. But just the reasoning that she's providing here is entirely different. I mean, it is and it isn't. The reason why you and Deb were living with her at one point was to take care of her. But
Well, and on top of it, only Deb needed to be there. Why did Eugenia go? Do you honestly think that Eugenia was helpful in that situation, other than to just be another relative in the house who could talk to grandma? But do you think she was cooking meals? Do you think she was cleaning anything? Do you think she was helping with bed sheets or cleaning grandma? Do you think she was actually doing any of the manual labor around helping an elderly relative that has dementia? Because I have a hard time believing that that happened. I have a feeling that she was only there because Deb also needs to take care of her.
All right, let's hear her out. Let's hear her out.
Like my grandma, and then we were actually trying to just kind of like take care of my grandma for years. Then my grandma sadly like passed away like over the summer, but it's like you don't always really know like why people live together, and it doesn't always mean like, oh, like you're like.
Why did you go along for that? And if you needed to go along for moral support or whatever for grandma, where was your brother and your dad in that scenario? How come they weren't helping out? Why didn't your brother, who also lives at home, come along?
Like sometimes you guys say deflect, just stop already.
She didn't finish that thought. She had a really hard time finishing that thought.
Mm-hmm.
She's right when she says that you don't always know people's living situations. You don't always know why someone is living with another person or living with their parents or whatever. It could be for a multitude of reasons. The assumption that people are coming at her with right now is you're unable to take care of yourself, you're pathetic, you're a 29-year-old that still lives with mom. They're trying to come at her with this sort of angle, but what she's trying to do is communicate to her audience, well, that actually isn't the case. You guys are too quick to judge, and you don't always know why people are living with one another. And then she tried to provide the example of, well, we used to live with my grandma, actually, because we were taking care of her. So what she's doing is she's telling the audience, you don't know the real reason why I'm living with Deb. You do not know the real reason why I'm living here. You think you do, but you don't. But
yeah, and in that argument, she's also implying that she needs to somehow take care of her mom, right? That there's something wrong going on with her mom, that she needs to be there and take care of her. But then she sits on a live stream for 12 hours and is completely unavailable to the rest of the family. So I don't see how that's a legitimate argument. But on top of it, these are temporary situations in your life. When a relative gets sick or gets dementia or whatnot, it's not like it goes on for your entire life. So how come we're here and she still has not had any adult life experience outside of the home at all,
it's just kind of, I guess, ironic, maybe, that the example that she provided was that the fact that they had to live and take care of the grandma. So the reason why Eugenia lives with the mom is for an undisclosed reason that the audience doesn't know about. But I mean, we all know why she lives with her mom. Right. It's just, I don't know, ironic, I suppose.
I'm not deflecting once again. You could even say that like my mom like lived with like her mom, and I lived with her too. Like I said, like. Guys, it's not me deflecting. Like, my grandma actually did pass away over the summer.
And then intertwining a little bit of victim complex into all of this. There is a reason being provided, and then the whole thing about, well, my grandma, she has somehow turned a an attack on her into, well, I used to live with my grandma, or my mom used to live with her mom, and it was because that she was sick, and she actually passed away recently. It's taking this conversation and kind of putting a curveball on it and telling people to look in the other direction. Just completely removing herself from the original topic of conversation. What I think would be the best approach to this, or the greatest sort of, I don't know, kind of stand your ground. If you kind of stand your ground, I think that regardless of the situation, people would respect you a lot more. If you sat on that pink couch and told your audience, yeah, I live with my mom, I do. And that makes me immature. That makes me underdeveloped. That makes me pathetic. Okay, that's your opinion. Thank you for sharing your unwanted opinion. If she did that, that would be respected a lot more than all of these little avenues and corridors she's trying to go down, and pointing people in different directions and talking about how her grandma passed away. And I'm a straight shooter. And when people start to put a spin on things and they start telling you to look in other directions, it's just, why are you doing that? So it makes me think that you actually are insecure about the topic that you're talking about. Whereas if you just came on here, owned it, said the way that it was, it would tell me you're more confident, but whatever.
It's still really sad, especially like around Christmas time. It's kind of like, it's like our first Christmas like without her around, so it's definitely kind of like weird. And I know my mom has been kind of like, it's kind of a hard time for her in a lot of ways. But it's just kind of like, it's not deflection. It's literally like that's an actual passing.
No. I mean, look, I'm sure we are all sorry for your loss. But using your grandmother's death as an excuse for why you can't live on your own, drive yourself around, start dressing like an adult, and do real work rather than beg online on the internet is not, that's a horrible way to remember your grandma, is to use her as an excuse for why you're still at home, not getting off your ass and doing something about your situation. You can't constantly point to other people and say, well, I'm just so sad because I lost a grandparent with dementia this year. Well, you know what? I've lost 4 grandparents with dementia and Alzheimer's, and well, one of them actually just had a heart attack, but it was painful, but it didn't stop me from living life. You know what I mean? Like, from renting apartments, from like having a job. I still played around on the internet too, Eugenia, but I did it after work, after I cooked a meal for my son and made sure his homework was done and that he was bathed and in bed. People have responsibilities as adults, and you have not become an adult yet. And that's what your audience is trying to tell you, is that you are a teenager and you are freeze framed.
And we were living with her for a long time.
So what? What is she trying to say here? She lives with Deb because it's been hard on Deb to lose her mother? So Eugenia, in a way, is looking after Deb?
I have no idea.
What? I just don't understand the introduction of people originally saying you live with your mom at 29 to now talking about how Christmas time is difficult for you all because your grandmother passed away. You see what I mean? Like, this is such a curveball.
Well, and most adults will come back and visit, come back and help, come like be on the phone with their parents, swing by for like a Sunday dinner, things like that. But they are not living with their parents unless they're poor and they need to consolidate. That's a perfectly reasonable explanation for having extended family all living together is financial reasons. But she doesn't have that excuse because she's making thousands of dollars out of this begging on the online.
Trying to take care of her and stuff and just trying to like help her out. Because even before she passed, like there was a lot of things like my grandma was going through. So it's like, no, that's not deflection. That's like actual facts of my life. And you guys gotta like stop with the sob story. I'm not trying to say you feel bad for me. Like I also feel like I was really lucky to get to have my grandma around as long as I did. But just like a lot of people I think do. Rachel, I love you. Thank you. My family was just kind of, trying to like help take care of her and do as much as we can. I'm not at all saying like, oh, feel bad for me, like anything like that. Moonlight, thank you so much with the snowfall. Like, I'm not at all asking for that, everybody.
I don't think that you want people to feel bad for you in this scenario, but I think that you want to use a topic that has nothing to do with what people were originally saying to your defense. Because when you talk about things such as a grandparent passing away and your family experiencing grief, that's sort of an ironclad response. That's something that someone really would never make fun of. That's something that really people wouldn't be critical of because of the nature of the subject of what you're talking about. So what I think that you're trying to do is you're trying to introduce this ironclad subject of your grandma passing away into something that has nothing to do with what people are talking about.
Yep.
Which is very manipulative.
I'm just kind of saying, like, that some of you guys are like, oh, deflection, like, whatever. It's really not. It's literally just, like, actual facts of, like, my life, and things that, like, actually, like, have...
If you were in a caregiver situation, Eugenia, you wouldn't have time to be, putting on platform shoes and, ordering all of these childish outfits and spending all this time on the internet. You would be actually downstairs helping your mom, in the kitchen, cooking meals, cleaning, doing things to be a productive member of the household. But it is very clear that you are not a productive member of the household.
Gone on and stuff, so yeah. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, I'm okay. Obviously, I think something like that, like, it's always going to be sad, like, losing someone that you've been really close to and had around for such a long time. Like, it's always going to be a sad and hard thing to, like, go through.
I think your grandmother would be rolling in her grave if she knew that you were using her as an excuse for why you can't move on and become an adult.
But that isn't me saying, like, Betsy, thank you so much with the hand hearts. That's never me, though, guys, like, saying...
And you know what? After watching all of this, this really is in true Eugenia fashion. Because with Eugenia, she is not someone that likes to look problems in the face and address them. She does not like to go over the fence, so to speak. She likes to go under the fence or around the fence to get through the problems. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. What I said earlier. Had she said what I, suggested earlier, that would have been going through the fence or going over the fence. This whole stuff about... it's almost as if when presented with conflict, Eugenia thinks to herself, how can I get out of this? How can I escape this? What tools of manipulation or gaslighting can I use to escape or evade this conflict that I've been presented with? It's never the straightforward path. It's never, okay, this is a problem. Let me deal with it. This is how I'm going to deal with it. It's always like, what can I do to sneak around it, or what can I do to get out of this? Well, how can I slip through the cracks? It's just interesting. Because I don't know, it just kind of reminds me, like, if you've ever known someone in real life that can never be wrong, people that can literally never be wrong, they always have an excuse for everything. It's always someone else's fault. It's just interesting how some people view conflict and why they have a tendency to address it the way that they do. When, for me, I see it completely different.
Anything, feel especially bad for me because I lost somebody. I know a lot of people do go through, everyone goes through that kind of thing, and it's hard, but I'll always be really grateful. How am I embarrassing myself, guys? Stop embarrassing yourself. I'm just kind of like, guys, listen, I'm sorry if you think I'm embarrassing. I'm just talking about, some actual things in my life and trying to explain myself on why I feel the way I feel, I guess, about certain things, and stuff like that. Stop it, you're being so real. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, I'm just honestly being real with you guys and about, some of my feelings.
I think that you're using feelings that some people would. This is very along the lines of toxic positivity, because what she's doing is she's talking about how her grandma passed away and how that made her feel and how she's coping. And again, it's an ironclad sort of topic of discussion. No one, because you look like an asshole or you look like a dick if you're going to talk about Eugenia's grandma passing away. But what I think you're doing is you're being manipulative, because you're talking about something and you're using a subject that is very serious and a lot of people, wouldn't dare try to pick apart. And you're trying to apply it to something else in your life to sort of prove a point. So for people who really don't think about this and just come in and hear you and think like, oh yeah, okay, grandma passed away. Oh, when someone passes away, you need to be really sympathetic and you really need to be thoughtful and mindful of those kind of people because they're going through a lot and everything. Okay, let's give her a free pass on everything. I mean, if the shoe fits, Cinderella. However, I do not think that this platform boot fits.
I know I'm always awkward, guys. I know, okay? Listen, sometimes I think that's just kind of like my personality and how I am. I'm sorry if it's, annoying.
Well, that's why you need to go to therapy, right? Not only because it's resulted in an eating disorder, but you also have a social anxiety problem. You have some awkwardness problems. And apparently they date back pretty far if you've been honest with your audience about that. So that's where therapy comes in. That you have to figure out how to deal with your problems directly rather than try and dance everybody around the subject with manipulative topics like, well, but my grandma passed away, so therefore I can't become an adult. Come on.
But, I'm just kind of, saying, things that are part of my life. I smile when I'm lying. I'm not lying, guys. I'm just kind of trying to stay positive through, what some of you guys say to me, honestly, okay? It's I'm not lying. I've been literally talking about, my grandma, past.
She said it herself. She's trying to stay positive through all of this crap that people are sending her in the chat. All of this nastiness that people are spewing at her. She's just trying to stay positive. What you're doing here, in my opinion, is expressing something that is very close to toxic positivity. When you're taking something completely out of context and then applying it so that you can win the argument, that's manipulative. I think that might just straight up be manipulation. That's not toxic positivity. It's just But she said it. I'm just trying to stay positive. That's what she always does with a lot of things. As long as I stay positive and as long as I speak this way and as long as I smile, you guys can't come for me. That's just it. I win. You lose. Sorry. But when you identify it and you talk about what she's doing right here,
passing away because people kind of like brought me to talking about this. So there's nothing I'm lying about here. I'm just kind of trying to, you know.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Really talking about like my grandma like passing away because people kind of like brought me to talking about this.
Oh my God. This has really come full circle. People have brought me to talk about this. It's come full circle.
If you go back, it was the comment about it was one of her supporters who said, leave her alone, basically. I live with my mom and my grandma or something like that. And then she spiraled into this topic. That's where it started.
The beginning of the circle was when people started to say, you're 29 and you live with your mom. And what she did was she took the story or the context, the information about her grandma passing away. She used it to apply to the situation as a sort of defense against these people calling her pathetic for still living at home at 29. And then now we here are. We're back at the beginning of the circle. You guys made me do that. You guys made me talk about my grandma passing away so that I could escape the criticism that you're sending me right now. People brought me to this. This is your fault. So she's blaming the audience for her own decision to apply manipulation in the face of criticism. It's really complex. It's really intricate. But I think that I did an okay job of just mapping out what we have been listening to the past few minutes. People brought me to this. It's your fault. It's because you said that to me, I had to come up with some story or some information on the spot to use as a defense. Because you all came in here, pointed your finger at me and said, you're 29 and pathetic for still living at home. You made me apply this evading technique so that I could get out of this and not look as how you are describing me. You brought me to this. Oh my God.
Well, and also, can you imagine if your entire social world is three people that live in her house with her, right? So you get 3 people there, and then everybody else is pretty much virtual because she doesn't get to see Jeffrey all that often, her favorite person in the world, right? And she definitely is not dating anybody. So all she has is this virtual reality. And she's trying to claim that there are reasons for why she's at home, but her online activities indicate that doesn't make sense. You're spending too much time online for you to actually have a life outside of it.
Whoa. Whoa.
So there's nothing I'm lying about here. I'm just kind of trying to, you know. And then when I start talking about that, then it turns into, oh, sob story, when I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just talking about something that's literally like a fact of my life. Catherine, you're so sweet. Catherine, thank you for always being so nice to me. I really appreciate you so much, Catherine. Grogu, how are you, Grogu? Grogu, it's so good to see you in here. Thank you so much for the heart me, Grogu.
And then immediately after that whole debacle, after her getting really frustrated and being at a loss for words and blaming the audience, she went into subscriber-only mode. Immediately went into subscriber-only mode. And then they had a little chat in here about like, oh, get rid of the haters, don't listen to the haters, all that kind of stuff.
It's like old Paramore. I love it. Oh my gosh, Vanessa, thank you for joining our team. Thanks, Vanessa. Please age restrict my content. Melissa, why are you subscribed? No offense. I'm sorry, but I will not be age restricting my content.
Oh, no.
Because I'm literally not doing anything that requires that. Chrissy, right? I know. Paramore's the best. Oh my gosh, Dice did. Happy weekend.
And what that means when she goes into subscriber only mode, that is if you want to say something quote unquote negative to Eugenia, you have to pay to do it. You have to pay to be a subscriber. So by getting rid of the haters, it's getting rid of the live chat, not allowing just anyone to say whatever they want. So when she's in subscriber only mode like this, there are a lot less haters, such as Melissa, who just said you should age restrict your content. And the fact that someone is subscribed to Eugenia and said something in her eyes as negative, her question is, why are you subscribed? Why are you here to hate on me? Why are you here to say anything to me that isn't positive or uplifting or encouraging? Why are you here just to say things like that? So I'm guessing that it kind of surprised her that people will even go to the lengths to pay her to speak their mind.
Happy Saturday, or oh, it's Sunday. Oh my gosh. Losing track of the days here. But yeah, thank you so much. Happy weekend to you.
All right, y'all. I think that is going to be it on the rest of this episode. There are about 6 minutes left of this, but honestly, I scanned through it and everything. A lot of it is just, well, what happens is Jeffrey comes in, he sends her a Pegasus or something, and she goes absolutely ape shit and starts talking about Jeffrey. So really, the last of this live stream right here is just all about like, oh, Jeffrey. So let's conclude here. Thank you for making it to the end. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you for sparing us that part of the video, because I think we're all getting sick of her weird infatuation with Jeffree Star. Okay. So, basically, she will say anything to not address the obvious issues we have with her content being online, being available to children, and, you know, that's surprising to me because I age restrict everything I put online. So the only reason I can think of that she would not be age restricting her content where she's dancing around in lingerie on her live streams and shit is that she is intentionally trying to scam children into donating money to her. That's all I can think of at this point.